Okay, this is the 2016 calculator paper. First thing I always like to say when I start this paper is don't forget your formulas. There's a lot of good stuff in here, like I've gone through before. There's even equations in here that you wouldn't even think are in here. Okay, so for example, that is the area of a circle. Yeah, that's kind of hidden inside the volume of a cone, because the volume of a cone is the area of a circle multiplied by a third of the height. That is a terrible drawing, but you get the point. Okay, so yeah, there's loads of good stuff in here. Now, the minute you see anything to do with areas of triangles, pardon me, volumes, statistics, sorry, pardon again, they're all in here, and you obviously your sine and your cosine rule. All right, so loads of good stuff. The other thing I would also say is get to know your calculator. All right, right now I'm just using my phone because it's here, it's handy. I've got a good app on it. However, I couldn't take that into an exam if I had one. So you're kind of doing yourself a disservice by getting used to using your phone. I know your phones are much handier than a calculator, but please get used to using your phone. The big mistake everyone makes is to keep their calculator in radians, or if they get a new one, it's in radians, they don't reset it. So be careful, make sure your calculator says deg for degrees on it. But yeah, get to know your calculator. Okay, so question one. Drinks manufacturer is reducing, so I'll just point to this. Drinks manufacturer is reducing the sugar content of one of their fizzy drinks by 8% every year over the next 3 years. The sugar content is currently 35. Calculate the sugar content after 3 years. Okay, well, the first thing you would get a mark for is just to know what your decimalization of your percentage is. Okay, so we're trying to get a reduction of 8%. Okay, so minus 8%, what is that as a decimal? Well, our percentages are always 100 plus or minus the number divided by 100, okay, every time. So for us, that's going to be 100, take away 8 divided by 100, or 92 divided by 100, which is just, where's our decimal point in here? Divide that by 100, gives us 0.98. Oh, sorry, 0.92. Reading my handwriting wrong. 0.92. Okay, so that's a very long-winded way of doing it. And again, I try and talk through these things a little bit, and I'm not really sure what ability people are when they look at these. You can pause these videos when I start a question, go straight to the end to see if you've got the right answer. I'll talk away about extra things. So yeah, feel free to skip ahead if it's too easy. But yeah, this isn't a bad way of working out the decimalization, because what a lot of people can do, especially if it's addition, if it's say it increases by 2%. So instead of if I did this with 2%, I would end up with say I'd end up with 1.02. Okay, that's an increase of 2%. But people see an increase of 2% and just say 1.2. Okay, which is actually 20, not 2. All right. So sometimes it can be worthwhile just constantly doing this method. All right. So if you're struggling, please think on that. Okay, 100 plus or minus your percentage divided by 100. Okay, and that's what percent means, isn't it? It's per 100. Okay, so that's what you should be thinking about. That's why we've got to divide by 100 to get it into a decimal. Okay, or times it by 100 to get out of a decimal. So that's me worked out that. That's brilliant. We're obviously in year one, so we know that in year one it's going to be 35 grams, and we're trying to work out what it's going to be at the end of year three. Okay, so what we can do is say 35 grams times 0.92. Okay, and then we take that answer. So what's that answer going to be? 35 times 0.92, 32.2. Okay, so 32.2. And then I could take that answer, 32.2, and times that by 0.92. That's going to be 29.624. And I could take that answer, 29.6, so I'll just say 6 actually, okay, times 0.92, and that's going to give me 27.25, and I'll round up to 27.3. Okay, I'm just going to check my question. Doesn't actually ask for any other decimalization, and that's going to be okay, right? 27.3. Okay. So, is that the best way of doing it? Not really. Okay, now you could do it this way. This is totally valid. Okay, now if you think about what we've actually done there, okay, basically, you could summarise this by saying we've done 35 times 0.92, which was our first line, and then times that again by 0.92, and then times that again by 0.92. Okay, that's all we've done. We just keep timesing that original number by 0.92. Okay, and again, you could write that down if you wanted. That's totally fine. But if you're working out the sure funds after 10, 20 years, that becomes a bit tedious. Right? So you might remember the kind of compound interest type questions, and this is what this is. Okay, put it in a bracket and then do to the power of 3. Okay, that's the same thing because 0.92 cubed is just 0.92 times 0.92 times 0.92. Okay, and that is going to give us the same answer, the 27.3. Okay, so there are actually technically 3 ways of doing it. You will involve laying it out. Technically these two methods are exactly the same. We've kind of just laid it out differently. We keep working out the number after 0.92. Okay, whereas in this method you just cumulatively do it. This is the most efficient method, and this is what they're looking for. Okay, so you're going to get a mark for the 0.92. You're going to get a mark for Rhodes cubed, and then you're going to get a mark for your final answer. Okay, so you don't need to go through all this working. You don't need this either. But I'm just trying to talk through, where this stuff comes from. Okay, so next question, just to get us into it. Believe me, these come up all the time. I'll be surprised if there's not another percentage question in this paper. So yeah, definitely practice these. They're easy marks, and they always come up. Okay, so that's 3 marks into, how many marks is the paper? Is it 50? Yeah, 50. Okay, so not quite 10% of the marks, but there will be more. Okay, next one. Okay, question 2. A pollen sample weighs 12 grams and it contains 1.5 to the power of 9 grains. Okay, so right away I would just say 12 grams is equal to, I'm really going to try and get rid of these. I keep going to write little C's instead of equals because I will try. 1.5 times 10 to the power of 9. Okay, I'll just say grains. Right? Looks like grams, but it's grains. Okay, so calculate the weight of one pollen grain in grams. Okay, so we want to have 1 grain. Okay, how many grams is that? Okay, so X grams. So the way I've written out, if you think about it, we're trying to get from this number to this number. Okay, now they're giving us a massive number, but you should recognize this. Okay, for me to get down to 1, it's just the same in your percentages when you're doing reverse the change, or you're finding 1%, aren't you? So if I said over here, right, well, 110%, equals £90, work out 100% or something. The first thing we'd always do is work out 1%, yeah? And how do we do that? We divide by this original number, don't we? Because 110 divided by 110 would give us 1. And then we do the same on the other side. Okay, divide that by 110. And then you multiply up by 100. Okay? So we do the same on both sides, and we're just going to do the exact same process here as well. Okay? So don't be confused because you've got some very big numbers, but all we're going to do here is divide by 1.5 times 10 to the 9. And we're going to do that over here as well. Okay, because what we do on one side, we have to do on the other. So 1.5 times 10 to the 9. Okay, so in my calculator, I'm going to do 12 divided by 1.5 times 10 to the 9. So that gives me 8 times 10 to the minus 9, and grams is for your units. Okay, so nice and straightforward. When you start these questions, again, it's worth 2 marks. It's worth kind of maybe writing something down or just trying to lay out your question. Just think about what's been asked and see if your brain has a wee twitch. I don't know what's going on. Okay, so for that question, pretty straightforward. You're really just getting a mark for 12 divided by. So actually, in the marking scheme, it just says 12 divided by 1.5 times 10 to the 9, and then you get a mark for the answer. Okay, so someone would have seen this and said, okay, yep, happy with that, and then a mark for the final answer. All right, good stuff. I think we've got time for question 3. These are quite straightforward. Vectors, only 1 mark, so we know it's going to be very straightforward. AB represents U and BC represents V. Express BD in terms of U and V. Okay, so BD this line here, in terms of u and v. Okay, now let's see. First of all, let's write it with the big letters. Okay, so if I want to do b and d, b to d, that is going to be the same as going. Now I could go BA AD, could do that. That's fine. I could go BC CD. Okay, so I'm going to go that way. So that's BC plus CD. That's what I'm thinking in my head. I'm going to go this way. I could easily have gone another way. I could have gone this way. Okay, both of them are going to give me the same result. Okay, now what you should do in this diagram is, and I think they've been a wee bit unfair. They've made you. I'll just for now, I'm just going to rub this out. Okay, they've made you kind of have to notice the relationships of the vectors visually. Okay, what they could have said was that AB is equal to DC, and the AD is equal to BC as well. Okay, so this vector is the same as this one, and this is the same as this one. Okay, you can just see that by looking. Okay, so they didn't tell us that, which is a bit of a shame. But what I'd be thinking in here is I'd be labeling up saying, well, I know that this is going to be V, I know that this is going to be U, and make sure your arrows point in the same direction. Okay, so V, V, U, and U. So if I want to go from B to C, that's going to be the same as V, and if I want to go from C to D, that's going to be minus U. If I went in the other direction, if I went from B to A and A to D, that'd be minus U plus V. Okay, so I'll write it in a different order. I'd be saying B to A plus A to D, and I'll be saying minus U plus V, which is just the exact same thing. Okay, so 1 mark, obviously that's all you're getting there. And that's the end. I think that's all I've really got time for, isn't it? Yeah, but you could have gone either way with that. Okay, so they're a bit unfair. Bit unfair not telling you that those were the same, but you should be able to spot that from looking at it. Okay. Yeah, and the next video will be question 4.